All right, business owners, welcome back to the 44-Day Challenge. I'm Scott Duke. Today we are on day 31 of the challenge, where we reviewed a book for every day of the challenge, get the information out to you on better preparing yourself to sell your company. Today's book is 11 Reasons Why You Will Never Sell Your Business for the Money You Deserve. Kind of a negative tone of the book title, but it's good to think about reality. And one of the quotes inside this book that I really liked is, "You can rely on the rabbit's foot, but remember, it did not work for the rabbit." So you don't want to rely on luck here. You want to know the things you need to avoid and what you need to do to make sure that you're successful. And that's what this book and every book we've reviewed is all about. But this one does take a different angle. And I kind of like it because it reminds me of this book right here. And I don't know if you guys can see it. Maybe I'll pull it out depending on how the camera's set up. Poor Charlie's Almanac, and this is by Charlie Munger. But one of the sections of this book is the cognitive biases that humans have in making poor decisions. And this book reminded me of it because it's the cognitive biases that are going to stop you from selling your company and being successful when you go to sell. So we're going to go through that today. But the first thing that I want to touch base on, because this one hit home big time when I was going through this book, is the questions you need to ask yourself to know that you're successful. And the list of questions that came out of Justin's book today is completely different than any other questions I've run across in the readings thus far. So I'm going to read them to you, and they're going to probably be painful. I read them and thought of my business, and there's not a lot of these that I checked off. So we'll go through them right now. All right, these are the questions you want to ask yourself to know if your company is saleable, and he calls it the saleability quiz. Number 1, do you have at least 10 marketing strategies active at all times? Are you generating new leads, essentially? Number 2, do you measure all the variables of your sales process, including such things as the average number of appointments before the sale, the conversion rate, prospects to clients? Number 3, do you survey customers regularly to see how you are performing? See, all this stuff is kind of coming to the same thing. How fast is your company growing, essentially? And what's the prospect for future growth? Number 4, do you have an effective and formalized hiring and training system in place? I don't know. Do you? Number 5, if you were absent from the business for 6 months, would your business continue to grow? This question, it really pulls out how dependent your business is on you. Number 6, do you review the financial statements at least on a monthly basis? I can guarantee there's not many people out there that do this, and it is critical. And even the exercise of getting your financials on a monthly basis, getting your team to put that together, get your accounting department to bring it to you, is huge in moving your business forward. Number 7, do you use key performance indicators to measure the effectiveness of marketing, sales, customer service, and other areas of your business? Are you monitoring your success? Number 8, do you spend most of the time working on your business, planning, etc., rather than in your business? Of course, this is the big Stephen Covey question. But anyhow, those questions, rewind, go back through. If you're answering no to most of those questions, change it, fix it, improve it. That will make your business sellable times 10, I'm telling you, if you can answer yes to all these questions. It'll take some time, but it's worth doing. All right, so that's how I wanted to start it off, because I found those questions incredibly insightful to focus your business moving forward and get growth in the culture. Anyway, these are the major reasons why, the 11 reasons why your company will not sell and will not sell for the value that you want it to sell for. Again, from the author. So he writes, you will be off, way off. And what he's talking about is on price. So you're going to be way off when you go to value your company. You need to know, you need to be a close approximation of what your company's worth so you can go to market at the right price. We've talked about this tons. 2, you'll be woefully unprepared. This is your financials are not in order. He's talking about that. So get your financials in order. Again, we've spoken to that. 3, rose-colored glasses. So the question that he put in the book that I thought was really good is, do you feel if you were to finance your company 100% for the buyer, would you be comfortable? And that is such a good question to know if your company's sellable, because it's saying, hey, do you trust your company enough that if you gave 100% of the financing to the buyer, you'd know that he'd be able to pay you back? It's a good question. Number 4, You won't have a good selection process. And he's talking about for buyer selection. You need to have a way to screen your buyers. We've talked about this before, so you can go back to the video and find it. You will compare apples to oranges. So you're just talking about deal structure. And again, these are reasons why you will fail when you go to sell your business. So we're trying to avoid that. So you're comparing apples to oranges. You're just looking at price. You aren't looking at the way the deal could be structured. Different deals. You're going to get different offers. You're going to have different structures. They're apples to oranges, not apples to apples. Okay. 6, you'll be afraid to break up. So you could get yourself into a bad deal that isn't going to work for you and spend so much time on that deal that you're going to miss out on other opportunities that are going to be better. And so he's saying you might get attracted and you might get stuck in a bad deal. You'll be afraid to break up. Don't be afraid to break up if the deal is bad for you. Okay, the next, you will hit the snooze button too many times. And this is all about procrastination. You know you want to sell your company, but you can't really get around to fixing it up to make it sellable. So then you push it down the line, push it down the line, push it down the line, and to the point that it becomes urgent. It's very difficult to sell a company when it's urgent, unless, of course, you just drastically drop your price, which you don't want to do. Don't procrastinate, get prepared. Number 8, you will try to sell ice to an Eskimo. I like this one because what he states is that 90% of buyers have never operated companies before. So these are the people that are going to be coming to you, potentially trying to acquire a company. They do not have the experience. So you're trying to sell ice to Eskimos. These aren't people you should ever be trying to sell your company to anyhow. So make sure that you know your buyer has the acumen to be able to run your business afterwards. Okay, number 9, you will try to fit I into team. We've talked about team to death in these videos. You need to put a good team around you. This author highlights it here. 10, you will suffer from the Hefner syndrome. And he's talking about Hugh Hefner of Playboy, and he stated that he can never sell the business. He can't live without it, right? And a lot of owners are like that. You're really attached to your business. It's your identity. It's what you do on a day-to-day, and you can't think about what it would be like living without it. So if you really do want to sell your company, you have to put yourself in that mindset, that frame that you are not going to have this company anymore. And a lot of authors that I've read throughout this challenge have stated you need to have something else you're going to go to afterwards. And you just start that even before you go to sell your company so that you have another project you can move on to once the company's sold. Okay, number 11, you will not have an exit plan. Okay, they talk about, planning, not planning to plan is planning to fail, but have an exit plan. That's the whole thing. That's the whole point of all of these videos is to get a plan in place that's going to make you most successful. So whether you partner with a broker, you partner with an intermediary, you partner with an exit planner, get that person on your team that can help you with the plan. Okay, and then the biggest takeaway from this book, which I love because I believe in it so much, is the golden rule: win-win. The only way that your company is going to sell is if the buyer wins. Now you have to win too, of course, but it needs to be a win-win. So like I say in a lot of the other videos, you want to think of yourself in the buyer's shoes. They have to win in this deal. You have to win in this deal. So you need to be thinking about them the equal amount that you think about yourself. Okay, guys. Day 31 in the books. This is the 44-day challenge. We're the Wellstand Group. I'm Scott Duke. Tune in on all our social channels. We're getting as much of this information out as we possibly can to you to give you, the owner of a small business, the better chance of selling and pulling your equity out when it comes time. All right, we'll see you again tomorrow on day 32.